Good afternoon, everybody. It's been a while. Laura Romaine here over inside the Schuyler at the Hamilton Hotel. I'm sitting here with my soon-to-be BFF, Rod Brady. He represents our AV provider here at the Hamilton Hotel called Dobil Laboratories. Rod, welcome to the show. We are so excited. We are so excited to host you today. I'm excited to introduce Rod. He is such a personality, incredibly professional, has a great team with Dobil. And so today's Hamilton Hotel Happy Hour is to really showcase what Dobil's capabilities are, what they're going to bring to the Schuyler, our new space opening up at the end of this year. Rod, let's go ahead and get started. And my first question, just to kick off, how did you get involved with Dobil? How long have you been with Dobil? What got you started?
Well, Laura, thank you so much for giving me this time to be able to be with you today. I truly appreciate it because I think it's really going to be of significant benefit for all of the customers that are coming in so that they understand who they're dealing with. And first off, let me share with you, that backdrop that you have is amazing.
Beautiful. I matched
Good
the
heavens
colors.
to Betsy. It is absolutely stunning, just like you. So there you have it. We have the two stunners. So to answer your question, Dobil has been in business for just under 50 years.
Oh, wow.
We're a company that's based in Pittsburgh and has had tremendous success with Fortune 100, 1000 companies, as well as hospitality, of which I am the individual that oversees the hospitality division.
Wonderful.
As such, we've worked with some of the largest hospitality companies in the world, and I'm proud to be a partner with your hotel management company because it is truly a unique group of individuals that are all about the customer. And that is exactly what we are trying to portray.
And I can vouch for that because, and I was going to plug this at the end, but already working with your teammates, Chris, Mackin, Eric, they obviously represent Dobil over at the Hamilton Hotel. And they are, I mean, the one thing as an event planner previously, response time is huge. And I know it all comes down to the AV at the end of the day, and you guys have to be our right hand, tools when it comes down to the program. So already working with Chris and Eric, they are incredible to work with. It really does come down to the service. So anyway, back to my original question. So 50 years, that's insane. It's a long time.
I started when I was 3.
Of course. Amazing. Okay, so you guys have worked with all kinds of properties, venues, hotels over the last 50 years. So I'd say you have a bit of a resume.
Laura, that's an absolute perfect comment because one of the things, not only are we dealing with many different hotels, but we're dealing with companies that are going to be having meetings at the hotel. So we understand what their capabilities, needs are. Right. So we come into this with eyes wide open, with a willingness to help in any regard, and make sure that if a customer has an HDMI output or a USB type output or some other type of output, we want to be able to be there for them and assist them in giving their presentations capability the best it can be.
I love it. I love it. So, and then again, so how did you get involved with Dobil?
Well, our company really has grown from an evolutionary process.
Okay.
Originally, we were involved in what we called commercial sound, which then evolved into high quality audio systems and things of that nature. And frankly, at one point, we were doing some work with a couple fairly well-known groups back in the day, such as Kansas, Foghat, Canned Heat, and the evolutionary process continued because we accept change. Right. At that point, we got involved in lighting controls and in dimming systems and things of that nature to take all of the flexibility of today's presentations and be able to make them what we call entertainment value, because ultimately the guest wants to see something that will make their show somewhat pizzazzed.
I mean,
And to that end, if you wouldn't mind, I know that you have that beautiful background, but can I actually share a couple other
please,
thoughts and ideas as to what we've done in the past, if you wouldn't
please
mind?
go right ahead.
So I wanted to share something of this caliber because this ultimately is a different type of backdrop.
Sure.
So that when your customer has those beautiful columns and those LED lights up in the ceiling, if we need to do something that's a bit more creative for them so that it stands out, we want to be able to offer them something of this nature.
That's pretty.
It changes color, adds dynamics to the whole presentation.
For sure.
It doesn't make things stay the same. It changes as well.
And
As
we
you
can
can see, it changes pretty dramatically.
yeah. Oh, I like those whatever that design is on the two panels. Those are cool.
It is actually a Japanese design amalgamated into panels that we provide.
Wow. Okay. Very cool.
This is definitely a customized backdrop because we ultimately want to be able to give guests the ability to choose. It's not just one backdrop, it's multiple things, because what you may like, the next customer may not be totally impressed with, and we want to be able to hit it out of the park for all of the customers.
Absolutely.
So to that end,
There we
this
go.
is a side
There she
shot
is.
of Schuyler.
Oh, it's beautiful.
I mean, it just literally, it knocks you out because frankly, the columns then change color and the whole dynamic flux of the facility changes.
And so
Just like that.
back to the Schuyler, I mean, obviously you see these beautiful renderings of our soon-to-be Schuyler space. Can you go into a little bit more detail about those LED lights? I know there's a big number of colors that we can do inside this space, customizable for the customer. So if you yeah, go ahead.
You are correct. So these are custom-made columns out of Eastern Europe. They are of a caliber that is really second to none because they're all custom driven with red, green, blue, and white LEDs, meaning that your color renderings could literally be as many as 16 million colors.
What?
It's just beyond belief. They basically share with you that it's 255 by 255 by 255 by 255. You do the math, and it's a really large number. So when you do have those brides that come in and they want a specific type of color of purple, I think we're going to be able to get pretty darn close.
Amazing. And then how they control those colors is from like it's from an iPad, right?
That is correct. We have integrated the ability of being able to make these changes at will. So at that point, when you have individuals that want to make some dynamic changes to the event, they will be able to do so and be able to do so quite proficiently.
Well, that would make any bride happy, I must say. I can only imagine, like, if a bride on the day of their wedding wants to change it to a different color, it's quite possible they can do that. No problem. Just head on over to the iPad.
On top of that, we have some other creative backdrops which utilize spandex, stretch fabric, that allow us to put LED color lights on, and that in conjunction with the LED columns will be pretty unique as well.
Oh, wow. These are great.
This gives you an idea. The screen size that you have, Laura, is 22 foot wide.
Wow.
You are looking at a screen that is nowhere near the size of 22 foot, but that ought to give you some indication as to what you're looking at, because the screen you're looking at there is actually less than 18 feet.
Really?
And that's the reason why we're pretty excited about what this overall image is going to be able to do. it will have a significant impact. Further, we are using the state-of-the-art Sony laser projector,
Perfect.
which has been written up by many of the tech mags as one of the best products on the planet.
Wow. Oh, I'm learning a lot on this call. I also want to give us, oh, there's PCMA. Shout out to PCMA. You guys were obviously involved with them, which means you definitely are the best of the best, because PCMA wouldn't mess around with just any AV company. So amazing. I also want you to touch on we had discussed this earlier about the fact that we have these sky hooks that are going to be installed in the ceiling. Not only will they be able to hang Cirque du Soleil dancers, but I know you and I talked about this whole new virtual component, right?
That is correct. I want to share with you that ultimately we realize the pandemic has changed our world.
Absolutely.
As such, we have to be prepared for your meeting guests to be able to speak with anybody throughout the world on a dime. Meaning, it is our intention to be able to have 1 or 2 pan tilt zoom cameras and the ability of connecting through Zoom technology, which we've used with hundreds of positive results in our academia solutions. And frankly, we believe that in addition to the internet, the new internet capabilities that are being brought in to Schuyler, will allow your guests the ability to Zoom call and be able to make it happen quickly, efficiently, and cost effectively.
Which is also very important. So obviously with the Schuyler space that we are obviously so excited to open up, and the fact that we have the best of the best partner with Dobil Laboratories, I have to just drive home that service is always #1. And with AV, we know at the end of the day, it comes down to, sometimes a speaker goes out or a microphone goes out, but you've got to make sure that your team is there for you. And I can only say the most amazing things about what I've experienced with Rod, one-on-one with you. I mean, you've been working very closely with our construction team with this space that's being built. You are the one asking all the right questions and making sure that there's not anything missing, when we are obviously putting together the pieces of the Schuyler. And Chris, I can't drive home enough how much I appreciate the questions he asks and his response time. And so that, for me personally, as I once was an event planner, and now I'm on the sales side, and how important it is when you're trying to gather AV quotes and just seeing what works with the budget. Dobil has been so responsive. I literally text Rod now every day. Like, we're always like, okay, what else do we need with this space? So thank you. I want you to share anything else that you want about Dobil and what you're excited most about with the Schuyler. But I just know that we're going to be DC shiniest new penny, obviously, with a brand new venue. But I think the AV capabilities really make us stand out from any other venue in DC with these LED columns, the sky hooks, the sound system, the giant 22-foot screen. And, again, just working with a team that asks the right questions really matters. And that is what we have with you guys. So,
Laura, thanks so much for your vote of confidence. And you are so kind, because ultimately, hey, we're trying to make sure that we've covered all the bases. We certainly are moving forward to try and make sure that we do cover all the bases. And ultimately, that's what we want to do for your guests. The levels of proficiencies that are needed to bring to bear to make sure that your guests can trust what we are trying to accomplish for them will mean the difference, so that they don't have to worry about the AV and they can facilitate what they need to with their presentations, et cetera, so on and so forth. And our willingness to bring things to bear with Chris and Eric, I think will really just prove to be a wonderful symbiotic relationship with you and your wonderful team. Because Laura, you've talked about us, but I got to tell you, we are so proud to be working with you and your team. These folks really do care about the client experience. Absolutely. I have been in hundreds of hotels truly, this is family.
I couldn't agree more. And I'm glad you said that. I joined a team fairly recent, back in February before COVID happened, and a lot has gone down in the world, right? But I do feel completely supported by my team. I know that, character is huge. I know Mark, my GM, good friend of yours. He is, he's one of a kind, but he really does see the good in his team, and he trusts his team, and we are allowed to be creative and work with great partners like Dobil. So thank you so much for your time today, Rod. I really appreciate it. We are so excited to open up the Schuyler and see all of the amazing, iconic events behind me happen: weddings, galas, concerts. So, and we won't be able to do that without Dobil. So we can't wait. And let's hope for a better year in 2021.
I think we're all going to be happy with the way things are going to get moving.
Yeah.
Because ultimately, people have a smile on their face, they have a jump in their step, and they're ready to get things moving.
Cheers to that. All right, Rod.
Thank you.
Well, I'll see you on the other side. We will obviously stay tuned. More Hamilton Hotel at happy hours to come. I've got a few more exciting guests to join in the next few weeks. But until then, cheers and stay safe out there, everybody. Stay and healthy.
Ciao.
Bye.